Hi, I'm Johnny from UltimatePaperMache.com, and today I'm not going to be showing you how to do anything out of paper mache. I'm actually going to show you what I've been doing instead of paper mache, but I did use some Elmer's art paste, which is a commercial form of paper mache paste, and this is a remodeling project I'm doing. I started last year doing a lot of messing around, making big changes to my old house, and this time what I wanted to do was reface the stair risers. They're really in bad shape. And I wanted to use some of this paintable textured wallpaper that I got last year for another project. I used it basically to cover some plywood that I used over a really tacky bookcase, I think it was, and I ended up making a little spot for my chimpanzee in there. It worked really well, but I did remember when I was using it that it was really hard to get it to stick. And since I'm putting it on the stair risers, I wanted to make sure that it stuck really good. I did see in the instructions that it helps to use some cellulose paste in addition to the paste that's already on there, and that's what Elmer's art paste is. So it's kind of art paper mache on my stairs. Now the other thing that I used is this little item. It's I'll get back here so you can see the whole thing. It's a special little homemade tool. I used some instructions that I got from Kane Prevost. I hope I didn't mispronounce his name too badly. He's on thissortaoldlife.com. I'll put the link to it. This is actually a homemade measuring tool to make sure that the ends of, if you're putting in stair treads, the ends are never going to be actually square, especially in an old house like mine. And the stair risers aren't even close to square either, which I found out. And so I used his instructions. I think he got the instructions from somebody else online, so it just kind of keeps going. The only thing I had to change, because it was too loose, I used some leftover flooring that I had put on the floor of my entryway. It's too slick, and so no matter how tight I turned these little wing nuts, it would still keep moving around, and I couldn't get a real good measurement for the angle. So I just stuck a little piece of rubber in there. So this little doohickey was really good. You can actually get one of these pre-made, I think at Home Depot or something, for about 90 bucks. You can get the ends for something like 18 to 30. It was just really easy to make my own. Let me show you kind of the before and the process, and then you can see whether or not you want to try it. I showed you before how the stairs look like right after I took the carpeting off. Now right now the stringers along the side have been given their first coat of white paint, but it's still not helping a heck of a lot. These are really bad looking stairs, and I have put on the wallpaper on 2 of the risers. Really easy to get the angles right at the ends by using that stair gauge. You just basically change the angle on those end pieces and then tighten it up really good with the wing nut. When you put the stair gauge over the wallpaper, you do have to make sure that the wallpaper itself is right side up. I did that wrong the first time and it doesn't work. So if you do it right, it comes out exactly perfect. I just used a box cutter and cut it right along the edges of the little gauge that I made, just so that those angles would come out exactly right. I wet the wallpaper in water, like it says to do on the instructions. And while the wallpaper was sitting, like they said to make it do, I went ahead and brushed on that Elmer's paste over the riser. This is a kind of a double whammy paste-wise. The wallpaper does have paste on it, but like I said, it doesn't really stick all that great. So I'm hoping that this will make sure that it stays on there instead of having little corners pop back up again. I put the wallpaper over the riser and then brushed out all the air bubbles with a dry chip brush. And then just to make sure that there were no air bubbles and the wallpaper was completely smack up right against that wood, I went ahead and used my hand to push on it and press it down really good.
And this is how it looks now. Obviously, it's just a start. The stairs still really look bad without those treads being covered, but I think it already looks a lot better than it did. So I'm happy with the time that it took me to do this. And since I was using wallpaper that I had left over from another project anyway, so far it hasn't cost me any money. The treads, that's another thing.
So there it is. I'll show you how it turns out when the actual treads get covered. I'm going to be using a vinyl no-slip tread just to cover that wood. It's in really bad shape. They advertise the tread as being good for elder housing, and I think I'm qualified, especially since I took a little while to get this video started because I couldn't remember where I put the camera. It ended up in the bathroom, so yeah, I think, you know, elder housing that's a good description of this place. So anyway, I'll let you know how it turns out. Hopefully it'll look a whole lot better than it is now. And next time I hope to have an actual paper mache project. So come visit us if you've done anything really interesting. We want to see it. Come show it off. ultimatepapermache.com. I'll see you there.